Now, have you ever looked at a photo of yourself from a few years ago and thought, wow, why were my eyebrows so skinny? Or my blush was so harsh? The way we do our makeup is always evolving. Then you add social media into the mix, showing us all kinds of cool new trends on the daily, and it is almost impossible to keep up. First, there were manicured brows, then the fluffy brow, then the highlighter effect, then the dewy skin look, and are we still contouring? I don't know. Grace is going to set us straight on what makeup looks are trending and how to apply them. Thank you, Grace. Welcome. Help us out. So many trends out there. What are we doing with our makeup these days?
I think social media is pretty much dictating what and how we should wear makeup and where we should wear makeup. And I've seen a lot of these videos where they basically show you the old versus the new. So this is exactly what I'm going to show you. Just really showing where placement is really key and how makeup has just really evolved.
Okay, so I'm very intrigued, and you're right. TikTok is now teaching the world how to do their face. Let's start with concealer. Apparently, the way we do it now is drastically different than before.
It is. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to look a little crazy, and I'm going to draw half of my face down with white, so it'll really show you this old versus new. Okay?
Okay.
And with concealer, okay, just bear with me, okay? This is the old and this is the new side. So I think a lot of people were told to do this big triangle underneath the eye. Whether you had darkness or not, everyone did this crazy V shape under the eye, and it was way too much. And then they baked it with powder. Honestly, it's just too much. And I find concealer, you should use it sparingly because it is opaque. It doesn't wear that well if you're wearing so much during the day. So this is the old way. And then the new way, it's basically just spot concealing exactly where you need it. So just a lot of people have darkness like right under in the corner of the eye, and that's pretty much where you're putting it. You're seeing a lot more concealer just on the outer parts of the eye to kind of really help lift the eye shape up. And then some people just have like redness around the nose and maybe just a little bit on the chin, but it's really just about placement and putting concealer where you need it, not exactly just putting it all over.
The old way seems like over the top now. Which side do you prefer?
Tracy, come on. I prefer only where you need it. I've been a makeup artist for 25 years, and I've always said less is more. Yeah. Skin should look like skin, and if you have good skin, don't cover it with so much concealer and foundation. It's not necessary. So really, it's just, and you use a lot less product, and it does wear a lot better when you use less.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I totally agree. Less is more.
Okay.
What about, Gracie, bronzer and blush?
It's really just about placement of where the bronzer and contour is. So the old way, it was kind of the same like into the temples, but I feel like a lot of people brought their contour so much lower. They kind of like really did this sculpting effect where they brought it all the way underneath their cheekbone. And that was really kind of like bringing the face down.
Okay, that totally looks right to me.
There's just, I feel like people want this more like lifted, elevated look. So depending on where you put your bronzer, again, you can put it in the temples, but now placement of the contour and bronzer is just a tiny bit higher. And you're not bringing it all the way down and sculpting your cheek. Okay, so it's almost like just a tiny bit higher. So again, it's looking a little bit more elevated. And then blush, I find the old way, it was like really on the apples of the cheek. And that's, you know, a lot of people still do that. That's not really wrong. I love cheeks, like a flushed cheek. But I find if you want, again, that more elevated look, there's also the trend of more of like a gel blush and just applying it just kind of like a little bit higher.
Okay.
And into the higher bronzer. It just gives you a more elevated look and it doesn't kind of like bring down your face.
Oh my gosh. One side is like really being scooped
and there's a trend
upward, which is lovely.
Yes. It's almost like you're like lifting up your skin in a way. But yeah, it does give you a totally different look.
Let's talk lips. Grace, do you remember
Okay.
the brown lip liner trend of the 90s? Of course you do. I'm still not mad at it, but is that coming back, or where are we at with that?
Okay, so of course I remember the Oreo cookie lip. It was like the darker lip with the lighter center. That is not coming back. Kind of forgot about lip liner for a while. So lip was kind of to your actual lip line, and now you're seeing a surgence of lip liner and kind of over drawing your lip a tiny bit. And again, it's not just like going crazy, but you're just going just a little bit above the lip line. So, and then bringing it underneath, it really helps accentuate the lips.
And are you using a lip liner that's the same color as the lipstick? Like, there's no contrast now, right, between the lip liner and the lipstick?
Yes, good question. It's slightly darker, or you can use like just the same tone. You don't want to go like 3 shades darker. You really want to make sure that it blends together. And then again, you can put a lipstick on top or a gloss. And just even putting the lip liner all over will really help kind of tie everything in. And then the trend also is, you know, overlining and then a tiny bit of gloss. And it just makes the lips look a little bit more plump and luscious.
Show new. Show us new.
This is new.
And now show us old.
And then this is old.
Oh, they're both pretty. But I do get it. I see the differences. Yeah, they're both cute. Okay, Grace, thank you so much for that. I love that. And actually, the new lips are like higher than the old lips. So you can see that everything's been lifted on the new side. Thank you for guiding us through this, Grace, and for making yourself look insane, all in the name of beauty education. We love